What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I know it's been such a long time since I've put anything up, but I just had to get myself together and figure out what I wanted to do and yada yada yada. So let's go on ahead and get into the tea. I'm going to talk to you guys today about working at Victoria's Secret Pink and just my experience. Now, little disclaimer, first and foremost, I'm just talking about my particular store. You know, my particular store at my particular mall. It may not be like this everywhere. I can't say that every single one is like this. I just know the one that I worked at, this is the stuff that I had to go through. So the work honestly wasn't even all that bad. It was really mainly like two main things that made my time at Victoria's Secret Pink unenjoyable. And that was A, my coworkers, and B, the customers. Those were like the only two factors that made my time there like extremely unenjoyable. So first and foremost, I worked with nothing but girls. There was one man who worked there at the time and he was like one of my managers, but everybody else were girls. And I personally don't have a problem working with girls. I get along with females. It's not, anything like that. But in that situation, it seemed very much like high school. You know what I mean? Everybody was extremely like cliquey and people would be talking about each other behind each other's backs and, just a bunch of catty, petty drama that I did not sign up for. I graduated high school 4 years ago now. And when I was working there, that just was not what I was there for. You know what I mean? I wasn't there to be feeling like I was still in high school and still dealing with the same type of drama and problems and so on and so forth that I was dealing with in high school. And the girls, even some of the managers, they had favorites, they treated people differently. And I just wasn't with it. I was not with it. I had like a couple of people there that I still to this day love so much. And they were like the only people that I really dealt with because everybody else was just so dramaful and it was very stressful. But at the same time, what I did like about working with a bunch of girls, it was like, even if we all didn't necessarily get along with one another, if we are, we could have all had our own little issues, problems with each other, whatever, but we defended each other. You know what I mean? If a customer came in and was like trying to get slick, we really defended each other. We really had each other's backs. We were always on each other's side. Like, we didn't let anybody talk to any of us crazy. You know what I'm saying? And any type of bond with people like that is something that I truly do appreciate. Whereas it's not just work, but it's like we kind of take these hits personal. Like, you're not going to come in here and talk to my bitch like you done lost your mind, So that's like what I liked about working with a bunch of girls, but it was also very stressful at the same time. The second thing, the customers. Like, let's just really try to get into the customers, okay? First of all, sometimes we would have to be there at like 5 a.m. to do shipment. And I used to do that like all the time. We'd be there at like 5 a.m. to do shipment. And shipment is basically just putting the store together, unboxing everything, putting out all the new stuff, whatever. We would literally spend hours. We would spend hours putting together those panties. Like, literally just sitting there folding panties, putting them all in the right spot, all in the right size. We would literally spend hours making sure that they were all like color coordinated. We would spend hours doing that. And it was like, soon as the store would open, you would have people come in and they just come in and be like, just throwing panties everywhere. That was probably the most stressful part about working there. Like, honestly, that was literally probably the most stressful part because you spent so much time and effort putting that shit together just for people to come in and destroy it. And then sometimes they'd have like people who were directed to be at the panty bar and just keep the panties together. And so you'd be sitting there folding panties, putting the panties together, and you'd still have people with no regard for what you're doing still coming and just like throwing it everywhere. And that was honestly the most annoying, stressful thing in life. And it's somebody outside my window. They probably looking at me like I'm crazy because you can see straight up in here. I'm like right in front of the window and you can literally see like straight up in here. And they probably literally think that I'm fucking crazy and that I'm talking to myself. But anyway, so that was the first thing. The customers had no regard for what we were doing whatsoever. They didn't care. They came in there and would completely destroy the store and leave. They would grab stuff and just leave it anywhere. I mean, and what would really kill me is if you like grabbing a shirt or a sweater and you look at it and you're still like standing from where you grabbed it from, why don't you just put it back where you got it? They will literally they'll literally turn around and just put it on top of something. And it's like you were still in the same spot. You could have just hung it right back up. Dumb shit. Dumb shit. And on top of that, we used to get robbed a lot. I mean, not like held at gunpoint robbed. People would literally just come in and snatch and run. You know what I mean? That happened all the time. Like literally pretty much like every day. And again, I can't say that it's like this at every single mall, but at the mall that I was working at, this happened on a regular basis. Now, me personally, I didn't sign up to be a goddamn security guard. Like, I'm not gonna be that person that's gonna put my life on the line to try and chase somebody out the store who has stolen our stuff. You know what I mean? If I'm like on the other side of the store, I'm literally gonna be that person that's gonna stand there and be like, damn, they just took a whole shelf. And it was so crazy because we would have so many meetings about this and we would constantly be telling our managers, we need security. We were all a bunch of petite girls, you know what I mean? For the most part. We were all about the same height, and for the most part, we were all about the same size. So we are like, you know, we can't protect ourselves in here. We need security because we're not about to be that person that, you know, is putting their life on the line to make sure that our merchandise doesn't get stolen. And I feel like that's what our managers expected from us. And we were like, no, we need security. But in order for us to get security, we would have needed to hire our own security. You know what I mean? We couldn't use just the mall security for our store because we needed somebody to stand in there like at all times. So we would have needed to hire our own security. So that obviously just wasn't an option at that time. Aside from them having no regard for our stuff, robbing us on a regular basis, these hoes that used to come into the store were also the nastiest people that I've ever seen in my entire life. I will never forget this one time, this girl, she literally left her dirty, bloody tampon in one of our changing rooms. These nasty hoes used to leave they fucking tampons in our changing rooms. It was so like, and then on top of that, we don't tell our customers that they can't try on our bras or they can't, you know, you can try on everything. If you were trying on panties, we would literally, like, they would come with like little pads that you could try the panties on with. And of course, nobody ever wore them. So like we would go into the changing room to, you know, clean out, and we'd be picking up the panties that people left in there, and they'd have like discharge in them and just a whole bunch of nasty shit going on. And then the clothes, they'd have like deodorant stains on them, or say if our customers may have had an odor, now the clothes smell like them. So we would literally have to like get rid of all of that stuff because there was nothing that any of us could do with it. And it was just so disgusting. It was so disgusting, so unenjoyable. I have like a huge respect for any girl that works at Victoria's Secret or works at Pink because we had to do so much work. And I don't think that's just something that people don't understand. Victoria's Secret Pink is a lot of work. And we used to have to do a lot, especially like when semi-annual sale would come around or any of those things. And we'd be in the storage rooms for like hours and hours and hours trying to get everything together and mark. We would literally have to go in there and like mark everything down and some stuff. And then like you never knew what needed to be marked down. So you just have like this little scanner and some stuff got marked down, some stuff didn't, but you would literally have to go through like everything. And it was honestly just a lot of work. And people don't think about that. You know what I mean? People don't think about that of how much work it actually was or is. You know, from looking on from the outside in, you would look at Pink like this looks so much fun and we get amazing discounts. We used to get free outfits, and also Victoria's Secret was also under the same brand as Bath and Body Works, so we would also get a discount at Bath and Body Works. The brand is called L Brands, and any store that was under L Brands, we would get a discount at. And all I really cared about was Bath and Body Works, but still. So you know, it wasn't a horrible job. It was just the drama that would go on between the girls and also the customers. You know what I mean? The customers who had no respect, no regard for anything, and I just wasn't finna deal with it. Like I just couldn't deal with it. I stayed at that store for approximately 7 months. But I didn't necessarily quit, but I didn't necessarily get fired either. That's like a whole other story. Like, honestly, y'all might be watching this and thinking like, well, why can't you tell us? But trust me, it's like a whole other story in itself as to why I ended up not working there anymore. But again, I love Victoria's Secret. I love Victoria's Secret so much. Ask anybody, ask my boyfriend, he knows. I literally spend most of my money there. Like, that's my store. I love Victoria's Secret. I love Pink, but working there is it just wasn't a good fit for me. You know what I mean? It wasn't a good fit for me. I didn't have time for the foolishness. I just didn't have time for the tomfoolery. And then also, I don't feel like we got paid. I don't feel like our paychecks added up to the amount of work we were doing. I feel like we honestly, all of us, should have been getting paid a lot more than what we were, because there was so much work that went into it. You know what I mean? It wasn't us just standing in the store and selling clothes. There was a lot that went on in the back as well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hours that would go into this, being there super, super early or being there super, super late at night. And at the time, I was working 2 jobs. I was working at General Motors, and then I was also working at Victoria's Secret Pink. And I would literally leave, and I had like the first shift at GM. I had the first shift, and I would leave. I would get off work at like 2:30. I'd have to be at Pink at like 4, and then I'd be there literally from 4 all the way until like sometimes 1, 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? And that's when I'm like, to me, it just didn't seem like we got paid enough for all the work that went into it. You know, it was a lot. It was a lot. And if you want to work there, you know, that's on you. Again, I'm not going to say that every store was like this. Every mall is going to be like this. Not everybody's going to have the same experience. But this was just what I went through, and I couldn't do it. So anyway, I'm going to try to make sure that I upload more frequently and consistently for you guys. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be back with another story time later.